guys, it's Linda Winter. I have another Winter Designs project. Now, this is not a newbie, but it is kind of a newbie, so I don't want you to get confused, but this originally was made with my Burp Pad template. I want to show you how to make an owl Taggie toy, and I'm actually not going to show you how to make it because I've already shown you how to make it, but the new part is I have a new template that's going to make what you do a whole lot easier. So first, I came up with a Burp Pad template. So we're going to go to the website, and you can see on winterdesigns.com under products and templates, if you search for burp, you'll see that I have the regular size and I have a large size. The large size, it's huge. I'll show you in a minute, but you see the regular bundle? There's an owl Taggie toy. Those are ribbons. That's really cool. The regular burp pad, the large burp pad, all the way down there's an owl template. So all of those things relate to what we're talking about today. I'm going to show you what I had in the past though. So we'll go back to the website for a minute and look at the directions, because I have like 19 pages, I think it is, of directions. And you can go print those directions out and you can make your own template for the ears and for the wings and for those kinds of things. But I want to show you a faster, easier way. So under the directions, if you'll scroll down, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's Burp Pad plus Owl. So I had written those directions out. Let's click on them because I want you to see what you have to do right now if you want to make this cute, fun owl Taggie toy or stuffed owl. At the very bottom, there's directions for how to do burp pads and a bunch of other things, but at the very bottom, you'll see that page right there. You have to print that out and make sure it's printed to scale and all kinds of stuff. It's the part that's on the right-hand side. Those are the ears. That's what I want to take a look at now. So I want to show you the template that I created because a bunch of people said, I love making these, but it's a pain to print that out, and the left ear doesn't look like the right ear, and the first owl didn't look like the second owl, and I'm making them for twins, or I'm making them for my nieces or whatever. So I made this template. No slip material on the back. It's gray. The old style brown, they both work. They both, no slipping, no kidding, that material. But this is the burp pad. When we look at this, can you see kind of how it's pretty much the same shape, but we have to go in and add the ears and change this little bit here. So what I ended up doing was having a template made to make the owls. I mentioned the large burp pad. It's the shape of a burp pad. It's not a burp pad. At the trade shows, I would say this is not a burp pad unless you're a giant that's burping a baby giant. So this makes purses. I'm going to show you some projects at the very end made with the burp pads and that large burp pad, but right now we're talking owls. I have a video on YouTube. I want to show you where that is. If you go to my YouTube, Linda Videos, make sure you subscribe because then you'll get notified every time. But where that little search box is, that magnifying glass, we're going to type in owl. And you can type in burp, owl, any of those, and you'll see my burp pad owl Taggie toy video there. Owl Taggie toy stuffed animal burp pad, that video. My video is going to walk you through the details. I want to show you some of the things, same things, but I don't want to go back and recreate the wheel. We're just going to make it a whole lot easier using this template. But I do want to show you a few other things in this video, either as a reminder or things that are new. So you can print out these directions. I mentioned 19 pages, something like that. I'm going to show you how to make the walker bag, the stroller bag, the armchair caddy, the casserole mitt. I don't have a video and I don't have directions on this. I'm not sure what happened, so that's going to be coming. This will walk you through. You can see all of this stuff, but I'm showing you that in videos. So you don't really have to read all of these unless you like written directions. I had a lot of people that liked written directions, so I wrote these up a while ago. This is an oven mitt. We'll take a look at that later. This is for your sewing, at your sewing machine or at your armchair of your couch or whatever. You can put remote, you can put your sewing tools in there. This is an oven mitt, so I'll show you that too. But I'll walk you through the whole process. Here's the owls, and you can see all throughout, I'm referencing these paper templates. You don't need all the templates. You can do the wings. I didn't do a template for the wings. I didn't do a template for the nose. If you want a template for the wings and the nose, let me know, because just like this one, this was based on customer requests. So if you want me to do wings and nose, I kind of feel like you can do free form with those. But basically these, you can see all the detail that I'm giving. I love getting crafty with felt and with your Cricut and your silhouette and all those kinds of things. And look at all the different ways that you can make eyes. You can also hand stitch. I'll show you on my blue jeans one, the felt that you can use to be able to do these kinds of things. This right here, this is what we're avoiding. We don't have to cut that part, and that was the hardest part to do too. All right, so I'm going to put those directions aside. I'm going to put the burp pad aside. I'm going to put the big burp pad aside. We'll look at those a little bit later on. I want to show you some that I have here. So this guy is stuffed, and you can see I've used flowers for the eyes, and then I've used buttons for the eyes. Is this baby safe? No way. Not at all. This is here for whatever it is that you want to do with this, to have fun with this, but it's stuffed. It's for kids that we don't have to worry about them peeling off, pulling off those eyes. And you can see how beat up my little guys are here just from going in and out of the suitcases at the trade shows. But look how cute that is. You notice too here, prairie points, continuous prairie points. On this one, I've got a fabric nose. On this one, I've got a felt nose. I've added wings here. These are different styles than the wings that I gave you, but look how stuffed he is and look how he's not quite as stuffed. So this is the cool thing about being crafty with this kind of stuff. You make it however you want. Here's the felt feet that I have, but I'm going to tell you that I recommend that you trace those 2 feet template onto one of these, and you stitch around on that outline, and then you stuff it. A little bit of polyfill for those feet, and now those feet are stuffed too. You can do it out of felt, you can do it out of polar fleece, you can do it out of whatever. That actually was wool, and wool that you've cut from a jacket, that you've cut from some old clothing. Recycling is really a great project for these. And just like you make the teddy bears out of, you know, the blue jeans, the button downs, and those kinds of things, the owl would be a really cute thing too as well. So if you have somebody, a grandparent that's really special to a grandchild, and you want to have one of the shirts that grandpa wears all the time and make one of the owls out of that, how cool would that be? So don't just look at your fabrics that you have in your stash, but look at your clothing too. And again, when it comes to the feet and the nose and the wings and all those kinds of things, then that's where you want to grab some of those fabrics that maybe have a little bit of texture too. It's called a Taggie toy. I'm going to throw these down. It's called a Taggie toy because when people started telling me at the trade shows, why don't you make Taggie toys for babies? I didn't have babies, so I don't have grandbabies, so I didn't know what they were. But Taggie toys are where you have ribbons along the edge that babies can play with. Now, what I really like is doing one like this, where you've got all these different kind of ribbons. So I've got an organza, I've got some satin, this is elastic. Can you see how that pulls? I've got wider, thicker, I've got roses over here. So you're gonna make these out of whatever it is that you've got. And the fun thing about this is this baby that has this, you can hear it crinkle too, is going to play with whatever it is. The thing about the owl Taggie toy is that we want to make this for babies when they might be a little stressed or when they're not so comfortable, that they can have in the car with them, that they can have at church, wherever it is that you need to keep them busy. Again, not baby safe because of the eyes here, because of this, even though it's sewn down pretty well. Baby safe. This is applique, and you notice here, I took flannel that's here and I just turned it over. So you could do that if you wanted to have that little bit of texture, but if you didn't, you could use white fabric. The SF101 on the back side of that would have it so that the coloration wouldn't come through. This wouldn't come through. This is, again, that flannel. I was going for that look right there, and you can see the centers. By the way, you can use the circle templates that I now have in a bunch of different sizes. This is the one that I mentioned with the felt, and these are just circles that are sewn down the middle. You can have a whole lot of fun when it comes to the eyes. So play around with those. The Taggie toys, the ribbons, it's for wherever it is that you want it to be. So you can add a lot of ribbons, you can add just a little bit of ribbons. So you choose what it is. I want to show you inside too. And we talked about this in the first video. This is some crinkle material, but you also have the ability to use things like this. If you're into recycling like I am, when I get a package in the mail, I'm saving that package, and I'm probably going to ship one of your packages in a recycled bin, a recycled package. I just think it's the right thing to do. But this inside of one of these will give it a little bit of crinkle. And I showed you in the video, when you watched that original video, I showed you when you make this, cut off any sticky stuff so you don't have to worry about it. But when you make it, we're basically going to use this whole shape, and we're going to move this as we stitch along to the edge. And you'll see it in that video. So there's lots of different materials that you can buy, but why not go ahead and use the things that you already have? So this guy here, again, it's got some of that crinkle material inside. This has got some crinkle inside. Blue jeans are a whole lot of fun. Again, this can be blue jeans from your stash, or it can be blue jean fabric from your stash. Flannel from your stash, or flannel, a college jacket that you wore, a college skirt that you wore, whatever it is, go to your stash. You know, if you shop at all of the different thrift stores, then those are great places. Do you see how this is different than this? And this is different than this? And this is different than that? That's why this exists now, because what I want you to be able to do is make these so they're all consistent. I also, when we pulled up on the website and we typed in burp, we looked for them, we did owl. You can see I've got kits. Here's a kit that I have where the cutting is already done for you. So I've got batting in here. This is my front, this is my back. Sewn two of these pieces together. These are circles. When you place these on, you can do crazy eyes looking on the side. You can do whatever it is that you like. I've got a nose here. You can pick and choose if you don't like the colors that are here. But this is a kit that you can buy that the cutting is already done for you. And you would put in a wing, and you'd put in a wing, and you'd put in a wing, you'd put in a wing. These are the little tags over on the side that are there. So I've got a John Deere kit that is already cut for you if you don't want to make your own. You have directions that come with that as well. I've got another kit. I love the flowers, if you can't tell, because I think they're a whole lot of fun. But these flowers here in this little crocheted center that's here, the flower has this. Let me pull one of these. I don't think I showed this in the original video, but these flowers you can get on a card. And you can see how that has some wire there. And we basically are going to stick that through. And when you poke this through, here's our owl that we have on the front. You decide where it is that you want. You're going to take a sharp item and just poke a hole through and pull the wire through. And then on the back side, you're going to spread it out. So that wire is going to go down like this. And then you can tape it down, you can glue it down, you can even zigzag over it if you want to on this. Not on this. You're not going to do that here. I don't need to see any of that. But basically, this is going to go through. That's what we have here. This would go through there. So this is an option for you as well. And I love getting flowers wherever, and you can do the flowers all by themselves. You can do the flowers in the crochet. You can do all different kind of flowers and buttons and all kinds of things. There's so many different choices out there. If you're crafty like me, then raid your stash and go to town and have fun. All right, so this was another kit that I have available as well. If you want a kit made up, it's a lot of work, a lot of time, but I think it's kind of fun for somebody that says, I'm brand new, I'm not so confident, or I don't know if I want to buy the template yet. So you can see you can use that side. There are two wings on here. If you wanted to add the wings, you could add the wings. So you can see this wing is not added correctly. This one is added correctly. Let me flip it so it goes this way. But we would basically stitch that down. You could do two of these, use a white fabric on, on top of here, and then you're going to stitch around, turn it right side out, or you can zigzag on top of their applique. But these are my take and make kits for the Owl Taggie toy as well. But I want to show you how to use the template and cut out your fabrics. We're going to talk more fabrics for just a minute because there are so many choices. I've shown a lot of embellishments here. But if you just wanted to do a simple stuffed owl, nothing like minky or polar fleece or flannel to be able to just cut around. And you decide, do you have anything that you want to be part of the face? So you're going to place it this way. You decide what it is. But do you see how that no-slip material loves? This is a minky plush kind of a fabric. It loves that. So you can take your blankets that you've gotten, your whatever it is that you have, those throws, the wraps, all of that stuff, and cut them up and make these. So you don't even have to do the embellishments with this. The rotary cutter, and the no-slip material, they both work really, really well with all of that. There are fat quarter bundles out there that have owls. The problem with owls is that once you start embellishing, an eye on top of an eye gets a little bit busy. So if you are going to do any of that kind of embellishment, then you're better off to do on the back side something like this, and on the front side use a more solid fabric. Let's see if I can pull this all out. Here's a flannel. Use the flannel for the front. You can see here's the paper template, and when you trace around, you can cut that out. You can turn both of those right sides out, or again, you can raw edge. So imagine I have those cut, and you've got the flowers, and now we've got this on the back side, this on the front. It just gives a more subtle kind of an owl. You decide on the kind of look that you want. This is flannel. If you're gonna do something like this, I love, like my samples showed, taking a fabric, we're going to sew those together, and that becomes basically the top where we're going to cut the owl out, and then the bottom of the body where we're going to cut that owl out. So you can take any of your fabrics that you think go together and stitch those up. When you get to something like that, you can add a ribbon or a trim to go right across there. There are so many options that are out there, and so many options hopefully in your stash that you already have. You can see here, I've got some old ribbon from way back when, but look how cool that would look. If you glued it down first with a glue stick, just put a little, run of glue on there, and then stick this down and then stitch that down right along the edge, or you can do a zigzag or whatever it is right at that seam. So all kinds of options for you. Buttons, ribbons, trims. Again, go to your stash and have fun with all of these different things that are out there. These crocheted little doilies come in all different sizes. So you have fun with this. This is one of the Owl Taggie kits that I have. It gives you two flowers. So there's two oranges, there's two purples. So you have a set of eyes in the purple, a set of eyes in the orange. You'll have buttons in there as well, and you'll have 20 plus ribbons that are at least 10 inches long. This width, but then also a bunch along the side. So you can have fun with that. You'll actually be able to make a bunch of owls out of that kit even. All right, interfacings, lots of options. How lofty do I want this? Am I going to stuff it with polyfill? Am I using a thin cotton at the top? So I want to have a fusible on the back side. What you don't want to do is have something that's so stiff that it doesn't have any movement to it. But if you have something that's very lightweight and on, inside you're going to stuff it, or you're going to put some of the plastic inside of there, then you do need to have something that will block. So if you have a white fabric that you're going to use, imagine I've got white or something thin. A hanky would be really, really cool. Grandma's hanky that she has, with the monogram just so, but I don't want that plastic UPS bag showing through, the Amazon bag showing through. So you may want to put a fusible on the back. Hopefully it'll make sense to you when you start playing with these and creating. SF101 is my favorite to use because it gives me just a little bit of stability, and that little bit of stability is going to allow me to then decide, do I want to stuff this? Do I want to keep it flat? The flat Owl Taggie toys, this is for the little baby that's playing. You can hear there's nothing inside of there, no crinkle. This one has that crinkle. So you decide whether you're going to stuff this or not. I want to show you how the template works because that's the whole point of this video. I'm not showing you how to make this. I'm just referencing going back. I really would put right sides together if I were working on this, and I would have the front and the back. So that, and whatever it is, if you've got SF101 on the back side, if you're going to use a piece of batting inside, I would go ahead and do right sides together, and then on the bottom have your batting. This is the 45 millimeter. The 28 millimeter is going to work better inside of here. If you do right sides together as well, when you get right into here, you don't have to worry so much. I'm going to try to find a pen. You don't have to worry so much about getting right inside of there. I'm going to go ahead, and I've got yellow. I'm not sure it's going to show up on what we're doing here. Right inside of here. Yep, there it is. Right inside of here, my rotary cutter may not cut inside of there, the 45 millimeter. So I want to make sure as I go to cut, I'm going to cut this off a little bit. I'm going to cut this off a little bit. I'm going to manipulate this so it's a little bit easier to work with. And you can see I may or may not have lined that up on that edge. We'll find out in a minute, won't we? All right, so I'm going to cut. I like to move the template as I go, and I wouldn't recommend that you have everything crammed. I've got my sewing machine over here, my wool mat over here. I'd go ahead and have your cutting area so that you are just cutting. All right inside of here, I'm going to cut. When I get to here, we're going to go around, I'm going to go around, I'm going to go around. See how I'm cutting off there? And now we're going to go inside. Right there, I'm just going to kind of take my time and go. All right, not bad. There's a little bit of fabric there, but that actually, the 45 millimeter worked pretty good on there. If you don't have the 28 millimeter, and notice what I did here, I just kind of did a quickie. If you don't have the 28 millimeter, it's not a requirement, but you do want to take your time on those curves. Owl template allows you to get your owls. So the front, the back, the first one, the second one, the fifth one, the 20th one, they're going to all be exactly the same. If you wanted to add a fabric like this, again, think about doing this piece, cut the same owl out of this here. And then when you cut in wherever it is, you can have the owl on the top, the green on the bottom. You can have the owl on the bottom, the green on the top. But do you see how that owl right there with my eyes, with my ribbon, imagine I had a little bit more ribbon there. I'd find the one that matched a little bit better off. But the idea is these owl Taggie toys are super fast, super easy because of this owl template. Do you like the owl template? Do you like the idea of making these owl Taggie toys? Do you like the idea of making the stuffed owls? I thought they were just for babies, but I was at a trade show and I was showing another one that has gone. Lots of these owls end up disappearing because people love them. And I thought they were for babies. I had a girl, 1920, she came up with her mom and she says, do you make these and sell these? And I said, no, I teach you how to make these and sell these. And she says, I don't want to sew, I just want to buy them. And I said, well, I don't do that because my goal is really to have you sew. I said, does your mom sew? Maybe you can do the dishes and your mom can make one for you. I said, maybe you do a little bit of a trade. And she says, well, I need, and she's doing this in her head. And I'm thinking, what is she doing? And she's counting. And she says, well, I need like 23, 24. I don't remember what the number was, but I thought, what? What kind of family are you from? And she wanted them for her sorority sisters. So this is not just for little kids. Think about all the people that would love a stuffed owl. And again, use those fabrics that are special, use the fabrics that are meaningful, use the fabrics that are fast and easy. You can even do this out of polar fleece and minky and all of those simple fabrics, and you can stitch it up by hand. So if you're teaching little ones how to sew, this is a really quick, easy project to do. Buttonhole stitches along the edge I think would look really cute too. If you like the idea of the owl Taggie toy and you want those wings and you want the feet, they're easy to do. But if you want them, I can make a template for you as well. And I can make templates of almost anything you want. You just have to give me a little bit of time and give me some details, and we'll see what we can work on for you. You can get this again on my website, winnerdesigns.com. If you go to products and templates, when you head over there, you'll type in owl. And when we go to owl, we're now going to see the owl template. There's the owl template. I mentioned the owl Taggie toy ribbons and eyes. That's below. Then you see the burp pads plus extras. You can buy the regular and large. Oh, I wanted to show you other projects. You can buy the regular and large together with the owl Taggie toys as a kit. And then you can also buy the make and take that I have too. All right, so one more story to tell you about burp pads and customers. I talked about at one of the shows making burp pads with towels, and a lady came up to me and she said, I had no idea how popular these would be. This is a towel that you grab from your stash. Maybe it's your embroidery that you messed up on, but you've got some leftover towels. She went to, I think it was her daughter's house, and her daughter says, Mom, can you make me more of these? And she said, sure, how many do you want? And the number was like 20 or something crazy. And she said, okay. And she says, Mom, they're great for cleaning. They're great for wiping up spills from the baby in the kitchen, in the laundry room, wherever. I have cats. I need to make some of these for me because my cats are constantly making a mess. But the towel on the bottom, you know, you can add the pockets if you want, which I'll show you in a minute. But burp pads with the towel on the back side, you can wear it on your shoulder with the towel out as well. You can wear it with, if you want to wear it with the towel on the top, so towel on the outside or this on the outside. And my video on the burp pads talks about different fabrics. Here's flannel and flannel. I had a lady that wanted to make preemies, so she was able to take the burp pad template, cut it down a little bit. I show you how to do that in the video as well, and make preemies. This is cotton, and I've used a fusible fleece, and it's a lot stiffer, so this is one that I don't recommend. This one you can see inside of here. I had customers that said they were using whatever kind of batting that they had, and I said even like a polyester or whatever, and they said yeah, whatever it is, so whatever you have at home will work. Here's a pocket, here's a pocket, here's a pocket. You can make this out of both the regular size and the large size with the Velcro. That can go at your sewing machine. That can be a walker bag, a stroller bag, an armchair caddy. So that's that size, but you can make it out of the large as well. When you make the larger ones, you don't have to stick to the size. Do you see how that doesn't match the size of the template? You can use the template and cut around and cut down. Where you fold the fabric doesn't have to be folded with the fold here. The fold can go right along here. So this is a grocery cart. This you stick over the grocery cart. You can put all of your things, your keys, your credit cards. You can put a little zippered pocket inside of here if you wanted to. Here's a big zippered pocket. This is another one at the sewing machine to add all of your favorite tools right in front. And again, it doesn't even have to be exactly the size. This goes under the sewing machine. This goes on the front, hanging down in front of you. This is that oven mitt that I talked about, and I've talked about this material on the back for so many projects. I love using it because it's a twofer. It's the back side, it's the inside. Stitch right here so that you have a pocket for your thumb and a pocket for your 4 fingers. This is great for men too, and that's made from the burp pad. I show you how to do that. This is similar, but it's not made from the burp pad. It's made from my circle templates. So if you like the idea of doing this and doing this, but not having quite as much when you grab, it's an 8-inch circle that you're squaring off at the edge. This is that little purse that I said I don't have directions on and I don't have a video, but guess what? It's just a simple purse, a crossbody bag where you're just cutting your fabrics and you're sewing with the lining, and you can add a pocket, you can add another pocket, you can add a pocket, you can add a pocket. It's totally up to you. But imagine I just did my outside fabrics and my lining fabric and just stitched around just the way you would do any other crossbody purse, any simple bag. How you embellish, how you do your straps, totally up to you. This is another one of those cute purses that you use a magnet, and it also has the tape measure inside, but that's the burp pad shape. So you can make whatever it is that you want. Here's another burp pad done out of some really nice velvet fabric. This was a jacket that I owned with a nice lining, and you can do a drawstring if you want to, magnetic snap. I like having that bright inside, so that bright lets you see what's inside of there. This is from my friend Beth. Beth that's outside thinking outside the box. This one with the little earrings and with the little cheeks and the little smile that's a little bit crooked and maybe naughty or fun. This is the burp pad template. How adorable is that, and how much would a little one love that? Here's another one with those tape measures. I've added a flower. I've added my frog who's lost part of his leg. I just noticed. That's what happens when they're on the road all the time. This was a placemat, and you can see how much that's gathered up over the years. But this guy here from a placemat, and that's done from the large burp pad. This is again the large burp pad. And when we look at this, this was a bedspread that I had, and I added a pocket. This over here, whoops. This right here, do you see that? That's the regular size burp pad. All kinds of embellishments, have a whole lot of fun with that, the flowers, crocheting, whatever. And then here's what I did last year, and I still haven't added my Frankenstein bolts on the side, but you get the idea of that. All right, so the whole point of this was to tell you about the owl template. This is new. Watch my other videos on the burp pads. If you see anything here that you're interested in, go get those directions that I have, because I show you how to do a lot of these. But the owl template makes cutting accurate, fast, easy, consistent. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let me know what you think. If you've got little ones or you've got big ones that you think would love this. Thanks for watching.